What's going on, PLC podcast listeners? Jay and I are back this week. It is round 2 of the playoffs. We're going to talk about round 1 and all of those cool matchups. We're going to talk about the round 2 matchups because they're actually pretty nasty, pretty fire matchups coming to you in round 2. And we're going to talk through all of those. We're going to make our picks and, all that good stuff. So it's, I guess, a shorter episode. Again, there's only 4 matches that were played last week, and there's 4 this week, so a lot less to discuss. No transactions, nothing like that. But it's still a good episode. So if you enjoy, be sure to reach out to us and say, "Yo, we love the podcast. It's freaking awesome. We listened to all 50-some minutes of it, and you guys are the best. You guys are freaking just amazing. Like seriously, the coolest. Like when I grow up, I want to be just like you guys. Just drop that in chat, We appreciate it. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys in the episode. See you in chat. Peace. All right, what's going on, PLC Pod? We are back with another week. We're here to cover round 1 of the playoffs. Jay, how are you doing?
Fantastic, man. I just saw a fantastic basketball game. We saw a fantastic basketball game,
Yes, sir.
virtually together. We saw Luca do Luca things. We saw Cat brick, for some reason, just brick every 3-pointer. But fantastic game. Not sponsored by the NBA, by the way. Just want to make that clear.
Right. Just in case you were wondering, we are not sponsored by the National Basketball Association.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was a fun game. This is not only PLC playoff time, but NBA playoff time as well. Fun time of year for both leagues, and yeah, good times. So we just wrapped up game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and now we're going to talk about round 1 of the PLC playoffs. Fun stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
The way things work out. But yeah, so Jay and I are here. We're going to talk about round 1. We're just it's going to be a quick podcast tonight because we're going to talk about results naturally. We're going to kind of talk about the matches themselves. We are going to make picks, but there's not really any transactions. There's only 4 matchups that were played, so it's not really too much to discuss. I mean, I don't want to waste anyone's time, so Jay, why don't you just go ahead and kick off the first match from round 1 last week?
Yes, sir. The first match was my set with SB. Before I go into the match, Jordan, you called I was about to say myself. Excuse my English. You called me in 3 games. I mirrored that pick. I said I would win in 3 games too, because SB's team's a little funky to prep for, and he was able to take a game off me. I was able to pull out the set, thankfully, in 3 games though. So I do move on to the second round as the 8th seed. But again, props to SB, man. That was a really solid set. So he gives us the perfect call in the playoffs right there, the both of us. I mean, I said me. I gave us the perfect calls.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I gave us the perfect calls in the playoffs. That's what great players do. No, I'm joking. Let me not.
But
overall, man, it was a pretty decent set. Game 1 was a little bit of a wash. To be honest with you, I remember the guys on stream where I think Ian was very confused as to why I reset Trick Room when I had it up. Thought process behind that was just I knew the Miss Magius was gonna go down. So I wanted to put pressure on him to stop Trick Room, because if I got Trick Room up again, I was definitely gonna win. So I wanted to bring the Terrakion out. I was gonna tear water the Hatterene anyway if he brought out the Skeledirge just for coverage. And then if anyone gonna Trick Room up, Ursulina will be able to kind of sweep whatever he had left. So it's just resetting more Trick Room turns just so that kind of makes him adjust to what I'm doing, and it worked out. Game 2, that was a good game, man. It was a really good game. The Dozo came in at the end. I wasn't able to stop it. I lost my Hazer, which was Palafin earlier in the game. If Dozo came in and just did what's cleaned up, man. Props to SB for rebounding after that rough game 1. Game 3 could have gone either way. From what I've was told, the turn that the Rhyperior died, he was supposed to Terra water it, so that with Lightning Rod, wouldn't have any weakness essentially, except for grass. But I don't have any grass types on my team, so it'd be interesting to see what would happen with that. I was told that SB hit the tear button and then backed out. I forgot to hit
Mm.
the tear button again,
Oh man.
which is very very unfortunate on his part. But that that's just how the cookie crumbles, man. Um, and yeah, I think the Clodsire that was cute. That turned out to be unaware Clodsire. The reason why I left it alone for so long was because I thought it was the water absorb one. So props to him for those mind games, But thankfully, the boys, Pilotfit and Pelipper were able to kind of put the set away. But again, props to SB, man. Great season. Always pressed really hard. I know he always has a fantastic time whenever it's that yearly time for the league. Saw him at the draft party. It was a pleasure to meet him. And I hope he enjoys the lovely beaches of Cancun.
No, for sure. And I forgot to mention a minute ago. So thank you for the first thing is thank you for giving us a little bit of a recap of the match. I appreciate it. And
Of course.
I'm kind of hearing everything for the first time because the second thing I want to say is that I have not seen anything from last week.
Mhm.
um, I don't know. I've been PLC'd out for a little bit, and now that I'm out of the playoffs, I've been Cancun mindset, I guess. So
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything for the last week, but I did kind of get my drive back, kind of putting things together for the spreadsheet and working through all the history and things like that. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually kind of cool. So I'm actually kind of hyped going forward. So maybe I'll tune in because we have some fire matchups this week, so I probably will. But yeah, last week I did not see anything, so everything was brand new to me that you were talking through just now. So
Mhm.
my bad, guys. My bad. I'm gonna lock in a
No
little bit later,
worries.
um, but no, SB always prepares very thoroughly, and he's been hitting me up every once in a while, like all throughout the season, just with different sets and different thoughts, different ideas, and I know he preps very well, to be honest. And then even when we played, he said that he had teched out one of his Pokemon to just be one base speed point faster than mine, based on their base speed and their EVs, and he preps very well. So for you to
Mhm.
come out of that matchup, for him to take you to 3 games isn't necessarily surprising, but for you to come out, I mean, good stuff. Props to
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Props to you, and then props to SB for putting on a good show. And yeah, good stuff, guys. And Jay, I appreciate the perfect call. Thank you.
Anytime, bro. I got your back. Of
There we go. I appreciate it.
course,
Um,
of course.
the next set was Mike and Phil. So Jay, the only ones that were recorded were yours and Brendan's, correct?
Brendan's, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so we didn't see this game or this set, and I'm not sure how much Ian and Zach would have spoken to it on stream, but Mike does take the set 2 games to 1. Jay, you called
Mhm.
Mike by two games to 0. I called
Mhm.
him by 2 games to 0 as well. But Phil actually did manage to push him to a game 3 as well, so that's actually kind of surprising considering, Mike was literally a game out of the top 4, and
Yeah.
Phil was just kind of sneaking into playoffs as the number 12 seed. So for Phil to push him to game 3, good stuff, Phil. Props to you. And props to Mike for coming out on top. Jay, is there anything you want to say about that set?
No, from what I've heard, just I remember the conversation with Mike last week. I heard I think he wrote it in one of the chats that Iron Hands put in a lot of work and really
Mm-hmm.
helped against the slacking. I could be wrong. But from that's all I really know about this game. I'm pretty sure the guys on stream probably had a little bit more information about it though.
Mm-hmm, for sure. But yeah, props to Mike.
Next, yeah, man. Props to Mike. Again, props to Phil. Just because, first of all, this isn't a team he drafted. I think,
Right.
remember we had Isamu drop out. Was it week 3? Isamu
Mm-hmm.
drop out?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Dropped Isamu in week 3. So just stepping into a team that you're not really familiar with, some of the Pokemon probably aren't familiar with, then to kind of take that and to essentially just build on that, make the correct kind of decisions when it comes to trading and just the wire overall. I think he did a great job of building that team and molding it to his liking as well. Even taking a lot of risk on things that I think he said he doesn't necessarily remember like use it for.
Mm-hmm.
Remember he was talking about the not necessarily using a Mungus, I think, in one of the chats, and just seeing how how he was kind of able to make it work for a little bit before the playoffs, and then again sticking with the weaving and slacking core, which to be honest with you, it's like it's nice to it's a nice strategies to have, but there's to be able to execute it well, and to do it how he's done it, you know what I mean? And just get those wins, man. Props
For
to
sure.
Phil just for again great season as
For
well, and
sure.
props to Mike as well. We all know what Mike can do. We all consider Mike top 5 all time in the league as well. So just also being able to take him to that game 3, props to him.
I agree. Yep. For sure.
And next up matchup we have Dan going against Simon. Now this was an interesting matchup, Jordan. In terms of the calls, I called Dan by 2, and you called Dan by 3, because you had faith in your good buddy, your good rival Simon to take a game. I didn't. So props to you, because Dan does take the W, but he does take it in 3 games, giving you another perfect call on the
Hey,
week.
I'll take it.
So props to you, my boy. Props to you. Um, and again, I didn't think it wasn't going to game. So it's game 3. Simon has a fantastic team though, so it's not surprising. And just for me, it was playoff experience. Simon's first time. Dan's been to playoffs numerous times, but again, like props to Simon, man. Again, everyone at least took a game off each other, which is pretty cool to see.
Right.
What do
No,
you
it is
think
kind
for
of
this
interesting
match?
that all the games, like all the sets went to game 3, which is really crazy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure we've seen some stuff like that in the past before, but yeah, I mean that's just like it's kind of like an NBA game 7, or I guess technically a game 7 in general, hockey, basketball, baseball, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you can get there, anything can happen, right? So if
Right.
you lose a game, you lose game 1, you win game 2, it's like okay, I've shown that I can win. I just got to do it one more time. You know what I mean? Both
Right.
players are thinking like that, and it's really cool to see Simon. Again, first time in the playoffs and pushing Dan, who's very accomplished in the PLC, um, pushing him to game 3, and then Dan ultimately taking the set is major. So props to Dan. I think Dan. I'm not sure if this is fact or not. I think it may be, but he hasn't had the most PLC postseason success, and that's not like a dig or anything. I think that's factual when I say that. But to see him advance, it's not surprising at all because anytime you play
Mhm.
Dan, it's like you really gotta bring your A game, or he's gonna beat you. So, but seeing Dan here, clearly postseason, best of 3, taking the set is pretty cool too. So props to Dan, props to Simon, good stuff, guys, and yeah, major
Mhm.
stuff. And then the last match of the week, the last set of the week was Jay Wade and Brendan. Jay,
Mhm.
you called Jay Wade winning that by 3. I called Brendan winning it by 3, and Brendan does come out victorious for the US of A by 3.
Yes.
So Jay Wade, unfortunately, Jay, you missed the call betting on Jay Wade and the Queens
Yeah,
guard
man.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Brendan takes the dub there. So I get the correct call. I get the perfect call. So good stuff, Brendan. I appreciate that. Jay, anything to say
Mm-hmm.
about this one?
Yeah, man. I think out of on paper, I think this probably would have been the match that was closest. To be honest with you, I don't think Brendan's record accurately reflects like maybe, just the team that he currently has. To be
Right.
honest with you, I think he's done a lot of building, and I think he made a lot of strong moves in that last wire, picking up that hail core, especially. I think that's going to be huge for him. Um, and Jay Wade, man, Jay Wade just, he's had a great season all year. Barely missed out on, not barely, but he was decently close than a lot of other people to making top 4.
Right.
And I think he constructed a very elite squad over on his side as well. And he has a great mind for Pokemon. So I think whenever you think of Jay Wade, you gotta keep in mind just like some cheese, he likes to run, and just that, he usually does very well when it comes to creating and executing a game plan. So I think this was a toss up. It could have went either way. I'm glad it went to game 3. This match was recorded. To be honest with you though, me and Jordan are both shot. We've been a little exhausted, so we didn't get to see it. But from what I've heard, it was the second set on stream. So it must have been a banger to kind of save for that main event, and I'm pretty sure both players did a fantastic job. Um, Congrats to Brendan on moving up. Because again, I think he has a little bit of unfinished business as we get into our next round matchups. I think it's actually kind of funny the way that the script writers kind of wrote things.
Yeah.
But again, man, props to Jay Wade for great season. I didn't mention it briefly, but props to Simon as well for making playoffs the first time and also having a really dope season. It's nice to see the improvement on his part as well. And I hope both players are able to make the trip to Cancun from Europe.
I wonder if there's like a, Cancun is Mexico, so it's attached, or I
Hmm.
guess it is North America, but it's basically right there. It's a flight away, a couple hours, and you're there.
Hmm.
I wonder if
Yep.
there's like a Cancun in the UK. Like, what's the equivalent? Like, do they go to Scotland or something?
No, they're going to Cancun, Mexico. We're going to charter them on a PLC private jet, and
There we
you
go.
know, they're gonna settle their differences on the beach.
There we go.
You know
There
what I
we
mean?
go. No, good stuff, guys. Welcome to Cancun. It's actually kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty refreshing to not have to worry about anything PLC Pokemon related
Hmm.
for the foreseeable future. So it's actually kind of refreshing. Not gonna lie. But yeah, that being said, those are all of your round one matchups. And Jay, I'll just do a quick recap. So Jay, you were 3-1 on the week with correct
Nice.
calls. I was 4-0 on the week, which is cool. This is only the first week of playoffs, so your overall is 3-1. Mine's 4-0. Jay, you had one perfect call in your
Yes,
game, so
sir.
you're set. And then I had three perfect calls. Jay, Brendan, Dan, thank you guys, and Mike. Step your game up. No, I'm just playing. No, no,
Oh,
no. Mike does win the set in 2 games. I called it. Or I'm sorry, he wins it in 3 games. So actually, no, Mike, you stepped your game up fine. You won. What am I talking about? No, okay, whatever. I got 3 perfect calls. Jay, you got 1 perfect call. Let's keep it moving.
yes, sir.
I was thinking too hard.
You had a perfect week though, technically.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an improvement on my regular season. That's for sure. So,
Mhm.
but yes. So I stumbled over my thoughts there, but let's just keep it moving. So Jay, before we move on to this week, because we do have some heat matchups to discuss. Is there anything you want to mention about round one, playoffs in general, anything like that before we go forward?
Oh no, man. Just I think you mentioned it earlier. Just remember, well, for everyone who's still in, myself included, just remembering that again, like whatever happens regular season happened in the regular season, man. This is a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like again, like and again, this isn't meant to be a dig, but Brendan lost what, like
6 games straight, I think.
six in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? Which is kind of rough to go from like 4-2 to 4-8. But
Mm-hmm.
none of that really mattered. You know what I mean?
Right.
He took out a higher seed. And just again, just remember that we have someone who's undefeated, we have someone with only one loss, but at the end of the day, it's like as of right now, the record is still 0-0.
Right. No, you're
So
absolutely right. The playoffs is just a new season, so just keep that in mind as you go forward. That's absolutely correct. But I mean that's I don't have anything else to discuss round one wise. So let's jump into round two. So I just want to
yeah.
before we make any picks, before we do anything, I just want to kind of do a brief summary of the matchups. I kind of put it
Oh
in the season nine
God.
announcements.
Oh God. Here we go.
It's exciting stuff. This is actually crazy stuff. So this is kind of what hyped me up for
Hmm.
like getting back into PLC battle mode, right? Because again, I've just been out of it for the last couple weeks to the point where I'm gonna bring these 6 Pokemon and see what happens, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
we keep history, and we have 9 seasons of history at this point, and or I guess 8 seasons, and season 9 is developing. But over the course of the last 8 seasons, players have battled each other in the regular season. Players have battled each other in the playoffs. Players have battled each other in finals. Players have battled each other at all different points in the season. And Jay, we have some
Good.
fire freaking matchups, dude.
Hmm.
So the first is Reese and Brendan. That is your
Um, hmm.
1-11 matchup.
Yes,
Let me just
sir.
check that. See, that's right. Okay. So if you've been around for longer than 12 months, Well, I guess you don't necessarily have to have been around. If you've been involved in the PLC in the past 12 months, you likely know that this is a season 8 finals rematch. And you may or may not know actually that season 8 finals ended on a rather interesting note.
A little controversial, very controversial, actually. Some might say.
Exactly. So, if you are interested in finding out exactly what happened, just drop a note in chat. I'm sure somebody will fill you in. But yes, this is your season 8 finals. Last season, this is the finals matchup that it all boiled down to, and it all culminated in Reese winning his fourth. Was it his fourth
Yeah,
chip?
fourth.
Good
On the
lord.
floor.
Yeah, so 4 championships. Jeez. So it all ended in Reese defeating Brendan in 3 games. And again, rather controversial ending, but Aris did win. So I'm sure Brendan has that in the back of his mind, maybe the front of his mind, actually, as he goes into this week's matchup. So that's pretty cool. It's good stuff. And can't wait to see how it turns out. Jay, what are your thoughts on that match?
That's gonna be a good match. I definitely feel like Ben's gonna come in a little bit more motivated, considering how the way that season 8 finals ended. From what I've heard,
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like he was right there. But part of winning is using all the resources available to you, and I think that's what Reese did,
Right.
and he ended up pulling up the W for it. So I think Ben's gonna have a little bit of a point to prove. I feel like Reese also maybe has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he feel maybe, and I'm speaking for myself here, maybe he feels like he doesn't like the fact that if maybe I'm just gonna say it. Well, okay. The reason why I know Jordan said to drop a comment, but what had happened was is that in the game 3 of season 8 finals, it went to time. The belief on Brendan's side, and I think Arisa's admit has even maybe said this is true, was that if there was a little bit more time, Brendan would have won the match and would have been season 8 champion. Aris chose to play the clock, and to use his resources, which makes sense,
Yeah.
I'm not accusing him of like wasting time or anything like that, but he felt like Brendan had enough time to execute his moves earlier in the match, which could have maybe helped him later on in the match.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've heard. This is what I've heard. Don't shoot the messenger. So maybe Reese wants to kind of rectify that point that like, hey, I don't need like a clock to beat you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that. So I think it's definitely going to be interesting, man. Considering we literally just saw this matchup almost 12 months ago.
Right.
Um, and again, and there's some controversy. Still though, drop a comment.
Right.
Still
Let's
drop the
talk
comment.
about it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, still, yeah. If you, you know, still drop the comment. If anyone has anything else to say about it, feel free to talk about it. Again, I'm just saying it from my point of view, from what I remember. I could be completely wrong as well. If so, I do apologize.
No, I think that's I mean the short story. I mean that's basically what happened. And I think that my personal belief is like you should never approach a match with the intention to sandbag the time. Like I'm going to intentionally. There's 20 minutes left in this battle. I'm going to take my time with the idea that I'm just going to out. That's never the idea, and I don't think that was the approach in that game 3. But I also think that if you get the alert that you have 3 minutes left, and you realize at that point that timer can come into play in your favor, and ultimately it got to a point where Aris is like, if I don't let it go to time, I'm going to lose. So I think he'd be stupid to let that happen. So he realized an out.
Mhm.
He played to it, won the game. It's a perfectly acceptable win in my book. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how this week's matchup plays out. So good stuff,
So,
guys. Good stuff. All right. The next set is Ian and Mike and Jay. This one, I do want to hear your thoughts on it because
mhm,
my initial thought was this is a fire freaking matchup. This is awesome. The
mhm.
problem I ran into is that Ian and Mike surprisingly don't have that much history against each other, believe
It's
it or not.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it is though, right? Because these are two season 1 OGs. These are two players that have played. Has Mike played every season?
No.
he might have taken a season or two off in between somewhere. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
so season one OGs. There's only 5 players that have that were in season one, and Ian and Mike are 2 of them. So they've been around, they've seen it all, and here they are matched up. Season nine, round two. Jay, what are your thoughts about this match?
I think it's gonna be a good one, man. I think two very solid teams, two very strong players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the 4 and 5 matchup, which I think on paper is usually the closest one.
Right.
Jordan, as a basketball sports fan, you know that's usually how it's structured to be. There's always that close series.
Mm-hmm.
On paper with the seeding, you know what I mean? And I think this is probably this is gonna be a good one. I think they both have very solid teams. I think the synergy on their teams also goes really well with what they like to play and how they want to play as well. So it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a solid matchup. I definitely see this going 3 games, and of course we'll get into our picks later on. But it's gonna be dope, man. Very, very nice. There's a lot of different X factors that each player has to kind of watch out for on each other's squad. And I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how they prep across the possibly 3 games, maybe even the 2 games. Who knows?
Right. No, this is going to be awesome. It's cool to see these two guys going up against each other. The 4-5 matchup is always, a win here or a loss there could easily have flipped the arrangement. And, Mike
Mm-hmm.
could easily be the 4 versus Ian being the 5. But, I mean, the 4-5, it's always really close record wise,
Right.
skill wise. Just it's always right there. And I feel like that's the case with this one. Like, I could easily see the winner of this series going on to finals, going on to win a championship, even. Like, it would
Mm-hmm.
not surprise me in the least bit. So it's going to be, this is a toss up. This is like, I don't know if we've ever had more of a toss up than
Mm-hmm.
this set right here. So it's going to be awesome, and I'm actually kind of excited to see these guys um, establish this history too. Because again, they do have a little bit of history. I think they both won 2 games against each other in the playoffs. When I was looking back at the history, but it wasn't like a finals matchup. It wasn't it was naturally playoffs, so it was a chance to advance. Um, but this one is basically like these players don't have a chip. They are both competing for one, and they're both deserving of one. And again, if they win, this could be their opportunity to make that happen. So it's gonna be really cool to see who comes out in this one, and I'm excited
Mm-hmm.
to discuss it with you next week. So good stuff. All right,
Yes, sir.
the 3-7 is Brian and Dan, or
Interesting.
Dan and Dan. Because if you have played Brian this season, you load your game up, you share the code, it says an opponent's been found, and your opponent is Danny. And yeah, this is the Danny matchup. So,
But
Jay,
the
what do you
the
think
the,
about
the
that?
battle of the dance.
Exactly. Who is the real Dirty Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jay, what are your
It's
thoughts? I love this. This is
it's
fun.
gonna, it's gonna go, man. I think Bryant's had a really good season on the low. I think just because he's
Right.
not as active in like our chat, you kind of don't really pay attention to it. But it's like he had like a pretty solid season. Ten and
Mm-hmm.
two is not anything to scoff at all. With a plus minus of 20s, and to kind of just end out the season with like of course the second longest win streak behind the Reefs, of course. But winning essentially your last 6 and kind of taking a top 3 seed. I think he's had a really great season. And I like the moves he did in the wire as well. I like the moves Dan made in the wire too. And again, both Maryland players, both I'm pretty sure maybe face each other in like maybe a different format before. I could be wrong. But I think it's gonna be a great matchup to watch. Again, this is another one where I fully expect to go possibly to 3 games, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be fun. And yeah, Brian did have like a sneaky good season, and he
Yeah.
eliminated me from playoffs in week 12. So it's like, yeah, I mean, going into that match, I was like, he's 9-2. I have to win to get in,
Mhm.
and I didn't clearly, but I felt, you know, like it was going to
It's
be a long
okay.
shot. Yeah, I was
Mhm.
going in. I was like, this is my opportunity. And again, he was 9-2 at that point. Finished the season 10-2. He's good. And again, he's not super active in chat, so it is easy to maybe discount him or just not be as aware, or just not even realize that he had such an amazing season. But this is going to
Mhm.
be interesting. So Brian, Dan, good stuff. Or Dan, good stuff.
Double dance.
Right. And then Jay, the last,
Jesus Christ.
yes, the last set of round two is a rivalry match involving the one and only cleaner of the PLC. This is No Luck Lost, the RNG. This is Zach and Jay going at it. This is a rematch of Jay, was it season
Season
7?
six.
Season
Season six
6.
finals.
Season
I have
6
faced
finals
Zach
rematch.
every single postseason.
Mm,
Almost every single postseason. I'm trying. The only one I don't remember is season 5 because that's when I lost to SB.
mhm.
But last year, no, the season 7, season 6, season 2, and I didn't. We had that thing in 3. And I'm not sure what happened in 4, but guess what? Because of our lovely POC Discord, I'm gonna find out right now. Let me
Exactly.
see. And season 4. Where where is my playoff tab? Hold on. In season 4.
Oh
Oh,
no, Jay.
also Jay,
Don't look
wait.
at season 4. Don't look at season 4.
Damn, Jordan, what the hell happened? But Jesus Christ, what the hell happened? Um, it's okay, your record's not that bad. But yeah, so out of the 7 POC seasons I've played, I have faced Zach and I failed in 4 of them.
Yeah.
A lot of history there. Uh, as well is a rivalry match. Um, yeah, again, it's a lot. It's a little annoying, but it's a lot. Continue, Jordan. I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off,
No,
but
no,
I
you're
just
good.
feel like I see Zach every single time. It's pretty funny, actually.
No, I mean you guys have matched up quite a bit, and it's exciting to see though. This is like again, this is history that we've been working on for the past 8 seasons, and hopefully we can continue for at least another 8. And
Mhm.
it's exciting to like as I was kind of going through like the just the post, I was like, okay, I was looking at the matchups. I hadn't really looked at the matchups, and I was looking through them, and I was like, these are crazy matchups. Like I feel like
Mhm.
honestly, this is the Elite Eight, right? That's like if
Yeah.
you're a basketball fan, March Madness, you get to the round of 8 teams remaining. That's the Elite Eight. That's what this is. So I feel like these 8 players that are remaining are the Elite Eight from this season. Like when you look at like when you head into the season, it's like, okay, Zach's gonna do good. Aris is gonna do good. Ian, Mike, Jay, these players are gonna do well. And here you are, however many months later, these are the Elite Eight players, and it's exciting to see you guys like going just head to head now. This is perfect. This is unbelievable. So it kind of got my drive back, my desire to play better, just for the simple fact that I want to see you guys in playoffs. I want to be in the Elite Eight next year, and who knows if that's going to happen. We'll try to make that so, but it's just really cool to see. So I'm excited to see finals rematches. I'm excited to see rivalry matches. I'm excited to see OGs. I'm excited to see Brian and Dan, their friends IRL, and they're both
Mm.
solid players in the PLC, and they're going head to head. This is just good stuff. I'm excited, and yeah, round 2 is crazy. Round 2 is ridiculous. So I'm excited to see how everything shakes out.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All
But
right.
yeah, man, it's a lot of cool matchups, man, for round 2. We have two finals rematches, 2 PLC season 1 OGs going. Then we have 2 people from the same city who have the same name. I think, it's one of the on paper one of the more funner looking second rounds.
No, for sure it is. So, Jay, with all that being said, are you ready to make your picks?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jay, I'll let you do the honors. Go ahead and kick us off with that first round or that first set. Who do you have, Aris or Brendan?
Man, this is gonna be a good one, man. This is season 8 rematch just a little bit over 12 months ago. That set went to 3 games. This set will be going to 3 games as well. I think I'm gonna call the upset, and I have Brendan redeeming himself against the Reese in 3 games. I think Brendan has a chance to not only beat the streak, but he also has a chance to get revenge. I think he'd be more motivated to do that. So I think Brendan is gonna take it by 3, just to make it a little interesting. In 3 games, excuse me.
No, I gotcha. I gotcha. And I
Let's-
honestly feel like that's very doable. Um,
Mhm.
for the simple fact that Brendan is going to come in with the chip on his shoulder,
Yeah.
and I completely understand the pick. Um, I am going to go the opposite direction, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to go with a
Mhm.
Reese winning. Ooh, I think I'm going to go with a Reese in 3 games.
Mm.
That's interesting, though, because
Very
for a
interesting.
Reese to lose one match, that'll be his first loss of the season. He's 12
Mhm.
and 0. And I feel like that is why he's going to come out of this set victorious, because he hasn't lost a single game this year. And for him to lose 2 in a week, I'm just a little hesitant to believe that's going to happen. So I'm going to go with a Reese in 3 games.
Fair, very fair.
All right, good stuff.
Oh, so
And
research, just give you a little more motivation and
yeah,
to piss you off, to get you angry. Continue.
that's funny. No, good stuff, guys. It's going to be exciting to see who comes out there. The 4-5. So Ian and Mike. This one is literally, I could flip a coin right now, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could see both of these players coming out victorious. So just because Ian's name is on top, I'm going to go with Ian. I'm going to go with it in 3 games because this is literally 50-50 to me. There's no rhyme or reason for me picking Ian. I'm just going to go with Ian because his name is the first one listed. So,
um, for the sake of opposing you, I'm gonna go with Mike, just to mirror your pick and to make our picks a little more interesting. I think this is also a toss-up. I'm not sure who's gonna win. Um, if it was up to me, both of you would win. To be honest, because you're both winners in my heart. Um, but again, to keep it interesting, and I do think Mike has the team to also cause Ian some problems. I'm gonna go with Mike in 3 games.
all right, I've got you locked in. Good stuff.
Next up, we
Oh
have the
wait, Jay,
Battle
hold
of
on,
the
hold on.
Dance.
For the record,
Mhm.
if I had it my way, you would both lose,
Whoa,
and
whoa!
I would be in there if I had it my way. But I
Sorry,
don't.
Jordan. This ain't Burger King. Next up, we have sorry, that was a bad joke, but it
That
made
was
me
good
laugh.
though.
Um, we got the Battle of the Dans. Um, Interesting match. I'm gonna go with Dan Bryan, and I think Dan Bryan is gonna. I think he's gonna win in 2 games, not 2 games, 3 games. Excuse me. I think this one's going the distance as well.
All right, so I've got you locked in for Dan Bryan in 3 games. um, I'm, actually, I was gonna also go with Dan Bryan, but do I go with Dan?
Hmm.
That's the question.
I mean, we've been on the opposite end so far. No need to change
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean? So let's,
no,
let's
yes,
make it
that's a good
interesting.
point.
Let's spice it up.
I think I think I'll spice it up. I think I'll go with
Nice.
Dan. Brian is having a great season at 10-2, and
Mhm.
I feel like Dan is really good. And Dan, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Dan. I'm gonna go with Dan in this one because I don't know. I think Dan's solid, and just to keep things
Mhm.
spicy, I'm gonna go with OG Dan in 3 games. I think it does go to three
Nice.
games too.
Nice.
So and Jay, I will wrap us off. Or wrap us off. What? Wrap us up. Finish us off. Wrap us up. I don't know. I just kind of combined those. That was weird. But and that's also it's very pause worthy. Sorry about that. That was very strange. But
Hey, yo. Facts. Jeez. You're
Zach
fine.
and Jay. This is the last set. This is Jay. I keep forgetting. Season 6. You said right. Season 6 finals.
Yes, sir.
So season 6 finals rematch. And this is a rivalry match. Zach is 11-1. Jay, you are freaking solid as they come. And I think that I'm going to call the upset. And Jay, I think we're probably going to both go with you in this set because you naturally have to go with yourself. But I'm going to go with you too. Jay,
Thank
I
you.
think you're going
Wow.
to pull this out.
Thank you. Wow. I'm so flattered.
I think you
I'm
got
gonna
this.
go.
Well, hold on, Jay. I'm going to go with 2
My
games.
fault.
You're going to win in
Oh,
2
shoot.
games, Jay.
You think I'm gonna bust his ass?
I think you are
Pause.
going to bust his ass in 2 games.
I was not expecting you to say it. Funny.
And Zach, use that as a battery if you will.
That's
But
crazy.
I
That's
think
not
Jay's gonna come
funny.
out on top, 2-0. I think I'm gonna call the major upset here, and Jay, I think your postseason hopes are gonna continue into round 3. So Jay,
Thank you.
let me know what you think.
I'm gonna go the route I did when I faced Reese last week. So either way, I don't lose. That was the thought process. But I'll say this. I have never beaten Zach in playoffs before. I beat him once in season 2, best of 3. Didn't win a game in finals, didn't win a game last year as I know the season 7 as well. This year, I think I have the team to do it, to be honest with you. I think
Hey,
this is the team that I feel like I drafted like for the first time in my 7 seasons. I think it's the first team that I really feel like is one that I really wanted to use, and I got everything that I wanted. So I think this might be the team to finally break through for me. Um, I do have a little something planned. It's gonna be interesting. I think Zach's team is by far like top 2 in the league, but I still think I can catch him slipping. I'm gonna go with myself, but I'm gonna go with myself in 3 games because I think I think he takes one. He's gonna get his no matter what. But um, I think this might be the year. We'll see. I could be wrong, and I could be visiting you in Cancun by next pod. We'll see. We'll see. But again, gotta go with myself
there we
this
go.
time around.
The confidence. You love to
Mm.
see it.
If I don't win though, I'm gonna be very embarrassed. But it's okay.
No, no need to be embarrassed. No need at
I'm
all.
uh what's it called? I'm gonna do the the cat meme
Which cat meme?
when you know the one where when he's walking out he's blowing kisses to the crowd.
Oh, the Carl Anthony Towns. Yeah.
Yeah. You know when he's like blowing kisses at the crowd. He's just doing this very like slow
Right after
walk.
the after
It's
the
just
play-in game win.
yeah, and it's just so anticlimactic. It's like okay, you know
Right.
what I mean?
That's
If if I
hilarious.
if I win, I'm gonna do the Anthony Edwards when the Wolves beat the Suns and he did like the DX chop. And
Yeah. Oh no.
that's what I'm gonna do if I win though.
Now, if you win, you got to do the Carl Anthony Towns salute.
No, that's how I'm be walking in against either Brian or Dan if I
There
win.
we go.
Hopefully,
There we
I'll be
go.
like, yeah,
I love it.
we'll see. Again, we have to get the job. Yeah, we have to get the job done first. Though.
No, get the
Again, I probably have have to go against one of the best Pokemon minds that I probably know.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
as well because I'm like Jack's the person who when I don't want to plan, that's the person who asks for help. So
Hmm.
he knows my team almost as well as I do, to be
Right.
honest with you.
No, Zach is
So that's gonna be
he's
interesting.
he's good. He's like
Hmm.
he'll look at a Pokemon and be like, "This is." So like we always like give him crap in the trades, like conversations where it's like Zach will pop into your DMs and start telling you what you need, and then next thing you know, you're trading your panties, you know.
Eddie
And
Payne is crazy. I've never heard that phrase before.
he talks you out of your panties. That's what happens every single time.
I've n- that's elite phrasing.
But he does. He comes into your DMs and he's like, "Yo, like this is what you could do. This is what I was thinking." And it's like, "Yo, this all makes sense,
It
fam."
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You're like, damn, I never
Like,
thought
yo,
about it like that.
exactly. Like this
Hmm.
guy's good. And then next thing you know,
Yeah.
you're trading I don't know, you're trading your Mimikyu for Maractus. So, interesting stuff. But
Wow.
I don't think that trade ever happened. For
You
the
know what's
record,
crazy? Maractus has the ring, and you still don't put any respect on his name.
yo, Maractus
Like,
is
like,
flames, bro.
like me. I'm a hater, but you throw it in there against the Wolves, and I think shame on you.
Yo, Maractus is
Shame on you.
fire. Maractus was Storm Drain.
Is
Who'd have
it
thunk?
though? Like,
Yo,
you,
Maractus
you,
is
you
nice.
literally didn't bring it against in that finals matchup that you won.
Yo, but
Like, what do you mean?
the fear that it
The fear of what?
instilled in
On
SB,
who?
in SB,
Let me
he was
let me
afraid
look
of
at
the
it.
Maractus.
It's
That's why.
okay. I got the Discord right in front of me. You shouldn't have put that history tab because now let me see. Did SB have a water type in this?
Um, that's a good
This man
question.
had this man had no water type. Well, oh, he had artillery. My bad. I was about to say, well,
See, see.
he brought it anyway. What you
Yeah, I
mean?
think he did actually.
Yeah, what you mean?
But he
Oh,
didn't bring Hydro Pump. I don't think.
okay, pal.
See, he was talked out of Hydro Pump because of the fear of Maractus. Maractus is a very intimidating Pokemon. So
Is it though?
yo,
Is it like? Is it
if let's
though?
be real, if Maractus was real, you couldn't even give it a hug because it's gonna poke you. So it's like Maractus is intimidating, fam. Like if you were sitting there in a
I
room with
burned
a
that shit.
Maractus, you'd burn it.
Yeah, with some fire. What you mean? It's a fire. That's a grass type, my boy. You gotta burn
yo,
that thing.
yo, that's funny.
That's on fire. What? Give
Yo,
me a blowtorch.
oh
That's
my
over.
gosh. So yeah, Maractus, we're destroying Maractus. Maractus, you gotta put some respect on Maractus' name though. Again, Maractus has a ring.
I will no. I will not.
Kiss the
You know
ring.
who else has it? You know who else has a ring?
Mm-hmm.
Darko Milicic.
Does he really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
when the Pistons won that one year
Yeah,
for
you're
those who
right though. Because
for the
I think they
guys
won
who
in 2004. Yeah, you're absolutely
yeah
right.
for the guys who don't understand what that means, it's a basketball thing. I'm so sorry. Who else has a ring that you would have never thought?
Um,
Jeff Teague
yeah, I was about to say
said
the same thing.
Jeff Jeff Teague admitted on his podcast that when he won his championship, he walked through the tunnel, and you know what he said?
He said I didn't play or something. What did he say?
He was like, "Oh, you got an A on the group project."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he's like, "Oh, got an A on the group project. Didn't do anything." I was like, that's the Miraculous type vibe.
Yo, Jeff Teague, high key, is freaking. He's
He's
not only
hilarious.
funny, yeah, he's
Yeah,
hilarious, but he's so self aware that he's just so real. Like his podcast is freaking flames because of it. So,
but Jeff Teague thought he thinks he's trash. Like he used to give people buckets when he was on the Hawks
yo,
and
for real though.
I'm Minnesota. I'm like, he got to put some respect on his own name, honestly.
Yo, did you see the episode where they were talking about like do NBA players watch their own highlights? And he was like, yes. Did you see that?
No, I did not see
Yo,
that.
they were like, because they asked him, they were like, do NBA players like watch their own highlights? He was like, yes, absolutely. He's like, I got my go to right now. He said,
I'm crying.
drop 42 against Kyrie, game winner. It was just like so off the top, like he knows.
Immediately, he just knew.
Yeah. And then I had to go watch the highlights too. And he sure enough did. Gave Kyrie buckets and then dropped the game winner. Jeff Teague was nice. Jeff Teague was freaking great.
That's what I'm saying. He used to get buckets, bro.
Right, but he is like self-deprecating. It's funny. That's why he's funny though. But yes, Maractus is the Jeff Teague. Maractus has a ring, as does Jeff Teague. Maractus got an A on the group project by staying in the box. But Maractus, you got to respect it. So, who's going to be this year's Maractus? Tune in a few weeks
Oh,
and find out.
that's a crazy thing to say.
Yo, that's the real
Who's gonna
question.
be this year's Miraculous is insane.
Yo, that's the real question.
Is that the question we should be asking ourselves? Is
That's
that
the
really
question.
the question?
What Pokemon is going to instill so much fear in their opponent
Let's
that
see
they are going to alter plans?
if it's on my team, it's gonna who it's gonna be?
Oh, let me guess. Hold on, I gotta find your team. Where it's gonna be? Dang, your team is good, bro.
Thanks, appreciate you.
I can see you don't have a Maractus, bro.
It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the Miraculous. It's me. I'm gonna be the one who gets the A on the group project.
That's funny. Your team is gonna carry.
Yeah, because realistically, the team is carrying right now. I'm
Yo,
not
your
too
team is
sure. I'm
good.
just scared.
Yeah,
That's
your
all I'm
team doesn't
saying.
have like high key does not have Maractus, so that's pretty
I'm
funny.
I'm I'm the miraculous to the team if we don't win. To be honest with you.
That's good. That's freaking great. Well, all right, y'all. So that was your round one discussion. That was your round two picks, and just kind of round two summary or recap. And we will talk about round two results next week. But Jay, do you have anything for the people before we roll?
Nah, man, just prep well again. Just be ready to potentially be there for close to at least half an hour, maybe a little bit longer of Pokemon battling. And again, if you want to bring prep through teams, go for it. Um, yeah, man, just have fun. At the end of the day, just know Pokemon things happen. Um, if if I was me, I'm probably gonna be mad and probably like bitch and moan about it. To be honest with you, I'm gonna get over it eventually. I'm gonna get over it eventually. But again, man, just have fun. I know it's very tiring. To be honest with you, part of the reason
Hmm.
why I kind of wanted a first four seed. Let's say if I had a record good enough to be a first four seed, I feel like that 1 week will be like killer because then I have to get back in the groove, you know what I mean? Things like
Right.
that. And it's about that playoff fatigue. Supposed to play in where it's like, I just have to just jump right in there almost immediately. It's interesting. So just fatigue is real. I feel like everyone's feeling it at this point. We're almost there. We have 3 more weeks left. And then we're chilling until next February, next January.
Right, right. No, I think the biggest thing, Jay, you said was just have fun. That's the biggest thing for me. And if you advance,
Yeah.
and you got another battle next week. If you don't, it's gonna sting for a minute, but you will get over it. Trust me.
Now,
And
if I was that again, I'd be mad as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you.
which is
I'm
fair.
not gonna, I'm actually gonna be like really like if I lose 2, I'm actually gonna be really mad. I'm just like,
I
bruh,
get it.
what's the what's the what's the meme of the guy? He's like, I forgot. He's a fan of some fandom. He's like, we just can't beat this mother effing team. I forgot who it was. I think it was like some team. He's like, we just can't beat this mother effing team. Or the Joel Embiid meme where he's like, this isn't the rivalry. He always kicks our
Oh yeah,
ass.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one. Yeah, that's funny. No, you
But
got
continue.
this,
I'm sorry.
Jay. You
Thank
got
you.
this.
Appreciate you.
Your
Appreciate you.
matchup is big. Your matchup is you're gonna conquer that mountain this week. So,
I
um,
hope so, as Kodak
Kodak
Black
Black.
says.
I hope so.
I hope so.
That's hilarious. The internet's the best. It's freaking
For real.
spectacular. But all right, guys, if you are still here listening to our chatter about memes, we appreciate you, and we will see you guys in chat. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.